Has Kim Kardashian had hair transplant surgery? Subscribe and turn on notifications, please. In 2006, at the age of 26, let's look at Kim's hairline position. We've standardized the photo to corneal length to measure the horizontal thirds of the face. The upper, middle, and lower thirds of her face actually appear very close to one another at 6 centimeters. I'd like to mention here that the standard hairline height in women is about 5 to 7 centimeters. So of course Kim is perfect. What else is new? In terms of the ideal position of the hairline, there's different ways to look at it. One is the actual measurement that we just talked about. Another is looking at the vertical forehead and the horizontal of the top of the scalp and seeing where those two meet. As far as the shape of the hairline, it looks like Kim has an M-shaped hairline. There are other hair types as well. And you'll see as this video goes on, she's sort of starting to morph into other hairline types. As far as the hairline quality, there are fine hairs at the front that are fading into thicker hairs, which is very natural. She has good hairline density as well, and her hairline is regularly irregular, which gives it a very natural appearance. As far as her part line, it's to the left of center, which it's usually not in the midline. Of course, you can always style your hair with a part down the middle, but in women, generally that part line is off-center. In 2007, at age 27, she assumes here her more natural part on the left, and that's what I was talking about previously. In 2008, 2009, I don't see any changes. I want to take a second to thank the sponsor of today's video. It is a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lords and ladies in English. You know, being a doctor wasn't enough of a title, so I decided to also become a lord. Title Packs gives you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land with a unique plot number. You can officially include the title of lord or lady on your credit card, plane ticket, dating profiles, and it also makes a great last-minute gift. The first 200 people purchasing a title pack will effectively be my neighbors. Their plot will be next to my plot within like a few minutes walking distance. So if you want to support the channel and become a lord or a lady, we can build our own little kingdom. Right now, Established Titles is running a massive Black Friday sale. Plus, if you use the code GARY10, you get an additional 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com/Gary10 to get your gifts now and help support the channel. But in 2010, at the age of 30, I think she may have had her first hair transplant around this time. She does admit that the baby fine hairs at the front by the hairline were lasered away, and I see that, and I definitely agree that that is what happened. However, there is increased regularity at the hairline. The frontotemporal corners appear more closed, and the temple density to me has increased. The hairline shape is now more rectangular, so she likely had an FUT procedure, which, as you guys know, is when we take out a strip of the back of the scalp as opposed to the 1x1, because in 2010 FUE wasn't really popular, and so likelihood is with her long hair and with FUE usually needing to shave, she probably opted for the FUT, which is not very noticeable with her longer hair, maybe about 800 to 1200 grafts. The hairs at the hairline appear less fine in quality, as they now resemble more of the occipital scalp hairs. In some ways, they adjust the new location, which is the recipient area. In some ways, they can also hold on to qualities from where they arrived. So I think that concept is very important to keep in mind. In 2012, at the age of 32, I wanted to point out here that there's nice subtle change from the original, so it's not enough for most people to really notice anything happened. And I think that is her overall MO when it comes to plastic surgery. The other important point here is that there is something to be said for iterative change, right? Not just for Kim Kardashian, but for anyone considering cosmetic procedures, whether it's injections of like filler, Botox, or if it's something surgical, such as hair transplants. There's nothing wrong with going with smaller changes over time as opposed to one big surgery that really creates such a major change that everyone notices that, hey, this person had something done. Oftentimes I find patients don't really want to go through multiple procedures over time. They just say like, I just want to get it done. It's a better approach in many cases to take more iterative steps towards improvement. In 2013, I see no changes. In 2014, also no obvious change. In 2015, at the age of 35, I think Kim may have had her second hair transplant. You can see a procedure here of maybe another 600 to 1,000 grafts, likely another FUT procedure. I'm seeing increased density at the hairline. I'm also seeing that the hairline looks more rounded. So now she went from M-shaped to rectangular to more rounded over time. The left side of her frontotemporal area used to be her more recessed side, but now it appears overcorrected. So her right side is now her slightly more recessed corner. From 2017 to 2020, I'm not seeing any further changes. However, in 2021, at age 41, it looks like Kim may have had yet another hair transplant. So at this point, I'm not seeing any frontotemporal recession at the corners. She has a very rounded hairline, and I'm guessing at this point it may have been another maybe 600 grafts to just touch up the area. And keep in mind that at this point in 2021, she may have had an FUE procedure because the technique is of course a lot more advanced than it used to be. And it may have been done for that number of grafts, 600 grafts. You know, I would have offered her no trim, no shave so that you don't see that anything was done in the back, yet you get the grafts that you need to create the change that you want to create at the hairline. And in 2022, I see no further changes. But you can really see the shape difference compared to even 2 years prior. The total cost of all these possible hair transplants is $75,000. Since you enjoyed this video, please make sure to check out our other video on Kim Kardashian's facial plastic surgeries. Click on the card and I'll see you there.